Well done. You'll love Monarch. Exotic climate, violent native species, fascinating culture, really. You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram. I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the Board. They can help us set things right. If we don't put a stop to the Board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch. No, never. Monarch is a hotbed of political activity. I can't imagine why Hiram set up shop there. Cuisine, perhaps? You'll want to hire the services of a skilled guide. I recommend a hunter by the name of Nyoka. Frequents the drinking establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you have everything you need, make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound. Come see me in my lab. I'll answer any questions you have. Best of luck. Everyone on the Hope is counting on you.
Very good. Okay, so we actually don't want to do that just yet. So we want to go to Finisher's lab, docking bay.
Now arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
Okay, let's get the show on the road.
Take someone to watch your back, please.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud. I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since... in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Communications Terminal Phineas V. Wells. Password SWH181942. Password accepted. Welcome Phineas Wells. 2H Blythe. So it's got a bunch of sounds, cause undetermined. Original message appended. I worked it out, explain details later. Will be difficult to reproduce. Need your help. All necessary materials should be present in Halcyon, but locations elude me. Dumped a new associate Dirtside Terra 2 near Edgewater. They have a stake in my purpose, but trust in them only about 23.7% at present. They're recovering the ship, should be along any time. Just need to know where to send them. Let me know when you get this. Eager to be done, P.
Careful, that's my communications terminal. The Sissy Pigs make excellent test subjects. Also surprisingly nutritious.
Bubbles. Reminder, obscure body in the SK system. Dehibernation experimentation notes. Raising core temperature another 5 Celsius over 1 hour. Dosage appears to be working. Slight diffs from process in cyst pigs, not beyond expected boundaries. Microscopic assessment shows no sign of sudden traumatic mast cell wall collapse. Encouraging. In brackets, reminder, still need to mop up pig. Need to get a view into the cranium, see what's going on with neurons. Oops, hand slip likely effects, ? Nothing important, may have numbness in left heel. Who even needs that? Looking at sample, evidence of hyperactive production of dopamine and norepinephrine. Curious. No evidence of entropic effects on neurons, however. Very excited now, if only I can keep them from exploding. Raising core temp another 5 Celsius, 1 hour. Oops, forgot I had probe in brain, jostled with elbow. Subject may suffer numbness in right earlobe, acceptable. Feel ridiculous, telling in brackets, mostly frozen slab of meat. You're doing fine, line clown, quote unquote. Practicing bedside manner important, aids recovery. Curious about that neurochemical production, side effect of prolonged hibernation? ? Subject may experience tachyphysiology, exaggerated fight or flight response. Checked brainwave found sharp uptick in perceptive / cognitive processing when I jostled the probe. Fascinating, equivalent to speed of common fly's brain, could be useful in stressful situations. Subjective time dilation. SeaWorld moving in quote unquote slow motion. Would everyone from Hope have this sort of brain damage, or is it peculiar to Lion Clown? ? Can't wait to awaken more from Hope, study in detail. Is it even right to call this effect quote unquote brain damage? ? Seems like quote unquote enhancement to me. Who wouldn't want on-call hyper fast cognitive response? ? Am I envious? ? To expand the span of a breath to an eternity? ? To be able just for a moment to perceive the world in all its infinite detail, question mark. Core temp up, still stable, no sign of cell wall decay. Neurological necrosis beginning next 5 Celsius over 1 hour cycle. Yes, I believe I do envy you, Lion Clown. Fair enough. Pick up hibernation helmet.
Your old hibernation mask. Had to remove it, you know, in case you were prone to vomiting.
Okay. Research Terminal Phineas V. Wells. I can calculate the movement of the heavenly bodies, but not the madness of men. Newton. Experimental notes. Logs experiment number 01173. Flash frozen organic material reverts back to its original cell structure when treated with tincture of cell death, a very respectable 6%. Bad news, difficult to acquire. Limited quantities of compound likely produced by Anti-Cleo. Recently discontinued due to severe adverse reactions, quote unquote. Must find more. Experiment number 0093H. So then it's got a time between 12 past midnight and 9:49 a.m. So artificial stasis successfully induced in cyst pig or cysty pig specimen. Revivification complicated. Cysty pig tissue returned to living state. Brain tissue suffered from rapid nucleation. Attempting treatment. Treatment progressing. Treatment failed. Brain tissue irreparably damaged by rapid onset necrosis. Explosive cell death. Finished cleaning liquefied remains of cysty pig from laboratory floor walls equipment. Experiment number 01083. So this time is 16 minutes past 2 a.m. to 2:20 a.m. Fresh out of Anti-Cleos, experimenting with spacers, choice partially emulsified creamer substitute. Finished brewing, adding 2 ounces spacers, choice. Atrocious, felt part of self die on the inside. Reminder, add spacers choice to the list, quote unquote. Note to self number 2, buy more mouthwash. Cysty pig notes. Have spared one of my stock of experimental cysty pigs to be used as renewable source of nourishment. Have named this Lucky Pig Bubbles, quote unquote. Giving an animal a name establishes report and creates a positive emotional bond. In brackets, allegedly improves flavour of tumours, question mark. Must look into that. Excellent creatures, cysty pigs. Don't know how people used to survive without these genetic wonders of porcine succulence. Slaughtering a pig for meat instead of harvesting tumours that ripen naturally, failing or falling off the flesh like mock apples off a tree, seems the height of barbarity. Truly a miracle of modern science. Then personal files. Personal logs entry number 01037. Have procured the services of one Captain Alex Hawthorne of the Unreliable. I hope he didn't name his ship after the quality of his services. I'll be sending my new accomplice down to Hawthorne via escape pod as soon as the revival process is complete. Hawthorne should make for an agreeable companion, or at least an acceptable chaperone. Law willing, he isn't a total buffoon. Well, that was a bit of a contradiction, because he died from literally wasn't he standing in the exact same spot as our crash pad, or what's it called again? It was basically a shuttle pad, I think, and obviously he was standing in the exact same space instead of doing something else he should have done. Hibernation chamber. You spent over 4 decades in space with nothing but the technology of this little chamber keeping you alive. That's the thing that killed him, I think. The rest of your fellow colonists are still trapped in similar chambers, waiting for you to restore them.
Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%.
Awesome. Is there anything else to discover before we... Yep. Note, reminder, obscure body in the SK system. I think we might have already read that, though. Okay. Let's take this experimental weapon. Pick up shrink ray. Oh, we got a shrink ray.
I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size.
Very cool. And the thing is, these aren't main quests, so we could actually bypass this all by accident. So it's always good to check anyway.
Whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try out a monitor sometime.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout. Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals. Never know what being frozen did to your brain. There's always a chance you might turn violent. I've no desire to end up like Thompson. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper.
Thompson had it coming to him, let's be honest. He was a douchebag. And he was wanting to cut off the electricity of a camp that wasn't submitting to his will. So, as I say, Thompson got exactly what he deserved.
Absolutely. Let's talk. No, and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
So you're the captain's mysterious associate. I'm Ellie. Nice to meet you.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are. Let's just enjoy our plausible deniability while it lasts, shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy. Oh, fine. As long as you're vouching for their character and they aren't touching things. For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You're a talented scientist, after all. Our kind has always been incredibly popular. Yes, indeed. Well done. Also, you still haven't spontaneously liquefied, which pleases me immensely. Progress. What's on your mind? Absolutely. Let's talk. Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia. I enjoyed the occasional aether wave drama in my youth. Not anymore. All board propaganda. I'd rather not be brainwashed. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't revive themselves, you know. Yes, that troublesome bounty on my head. I've been a fugitive ever since the board caught wind of my research. My work is my life. The board can put a price on my head, but they can't scare me into stopping my research. Remarkably well. After all, I managed to revive you without too many adverse side effects. We're even having a real conversation. That's progress. I'm just waiting for news from Hiram Blythe. I'm quite sure he knows the location of those chemicals. Get me those chemicals, and I'll revive the Hope. Revive the Hope, put a stop to the board. Stop the board, save the colony from destruction. Cause and effect. Simple, really. My progress is tied to your progress. We're in this together, my friend. I'm well aware of your scientific acumen, but you're far better suited to working in the field than I am. Leave the blackboard work to me. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the Hope. Get it? We'll do our very best to save them all. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading. I hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with the board. Chairman Rockwell and his cronies are not your friends. They might tempt you with promises of wealth, but don't be fooled. They're just using you for their own ends. What's on your mind?
Okay. See what's over here. Nothing. Alright. Let's get going. You have acquired poster. Let's bring the station online. Why not?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. I was hoping you would ask.
It was the law-forsaken parasites. I had become obsessed. My quest to stop them. To avenge my partner, Philip. And my ex-partner, Bernice. And Lieutenant Jurgen. And those two informants had brought me to Rizzo's distillery. But it wasn't just the triple distilled deliciousness of Rizzo's Spectrum brand vodka that I found there. It was death. I made sure the Brain Eaters paid the price. But at what cost to me? It's you.
This is the Halcyon News Network with breaking news. Halcyon Helen has been murdered. Administrator Ludovico of Rizzo's refused to answer the big question on everyone's mind. Who will Spectrum Vodka's next spokesperson be? Claiming that a special investigation must be concluded first.
Captain, we have a communication coming in from one Administrator Ludovico.
Get off the transmission, Cedric. We agreed to let me do the negotiating. Law be with you, friend. I am Administrator Ludovico of the famed Eridanos Atmospheric Complex. But there's no need to stand on formality. You may address me as Mr. Halcyon Helen is dead. Murdered. Her death is the tragedy of our lifetime. As the face of our new product line, her murder is a stain on the Rizzo's brand. She was scheduled to unveil our newest product, Spectrum Brown, before this tragic event. But we cannot move forward with our unveiling until we apprehend the killer.
All right, Ludovico, that's enough. You don't know what you're doing. Let me handle this. Captain Hawthorne, so glad to finally have a word with you. I would have been so disappointed if Ludovico monopolized your attention. Cedric Kincannon, Sublight Underground. I'm so glad we're hiring a third-party investigator. No one wants to see a troop of UDL guards stomping all over my hotel. Least of all me. The murder of Halcyon Helen is a heinous assault on this colony. I look forward to watching you find the miscreant responsible and drag them out of the shadows. You're a compassionate person, Captain. And you're right. Halcyon Helen was a talented woman. She had a gift for transforming her art into wealth. You would not believe the money she made us on Dissident Busters.
For law's sake, Cedric, could you show a little discretion and not bring up your contraband operations in front of an outsider?
Ludovico, you wound me. I'm establishing rapport with our new contractor. Let's not give him the impression that you can't be trusted.
Do you really want to do this right now, Cedric? You want to antagonize me while I'm negotiating a contract. Because I promise you, I'll win.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Honest to law, how hard is it to hire a freelancer? Apologies, Mr. Ludovico. That was inappropriate of me. Captain, I'm Constable Maria Keene. Hiring a third-party investigator was my idea. I've been studying your dossier. You're a talent of violence. As far as I'm concerned, you're the ideal inspector for this case.
I'm pleased to hear that. The future of our complex may depend on your success. I'll leave you in the constable's care. Mr. Kincannon and I must have a word.
Fine. But Rizzo's is paying for that hotel room.
I can't tell you how grateful I am for your help. And even though they may not show their gratitude, I know Administrator Ludovico and Mr. Kincannon appreciate your involvement. Mr. Kincannon could lose his spaceport if board authorities took over the investigation. And if Rizzo's is forced to cancel its unveiling, we might never recover. Helen was more than popular. She gave something to this colony that no product line could ever provide. Real happiness. No one has ever been as well known or as well loved. Outside of our courageous business leaders. Me? Worn out? Perish the notion. My days are filled with catering to the oh-so-reasonable requests of Mr. Ludovico and Mr. Kincannon. What's not to like?
Transmission terminated. Captain, we are now cleared to land at the Eridanos Atmospheric Complex.
Trophy earned, the mysteries afoot.
Eridanos is a hydrogen-helium gas giant, distinguished by a well-defined ring system. The Eridanos Atmospheric Complex is a system of land masses propelled through a thin layer of the upper atmosphere, where humans are potentially capable of surviving. It is possible they expect you to understand the mind of a killer. You were, after all, responsible for murdering civilians in Emerald Vale.
The game's trying to disown me here. See, look, I'll go back to it again. I killed some civilians. I realised they weren't attacking me, so I stopped killing them. It's very good, this game, though. It's very perceptive on what you do. Slightly annoying, but it is perceptive. Okay. Relay GB23, I think we're at now. Okay, that's part of a main quest again. Very cool. Okay.
Estimated cleaning time, 59.11 minutes.
Wonder if it's empty.
Relay Station GB23 Automechanical Home Security Control System. Please select from the following options. Display unit status. Security review unit status. 0 mechanical set to charging routine. 6 mechanical set to patrol designated areas. Unit settings. Hostility level kill on site. Hostility override for owners active. List of valid owners. Alexander J. Frey. Update security routines. Security Automechanical Manual. The instructions printed in this manual have been covered by a mostly illegible scroll. Entire paragraphs are crossed out with frantic lines of dark ink. In some places the pages are torn through from the force of whoever wielded the pen. One section describing the correct procedures for setting auto-mechanicals on a proper charging schedule is mostly untouched. Random letters within the text are circled as though the owner were trying to discover some message hidden within. Frey's journal, A Beautiful Dream. Last night I dreamed and it was beautiful. The streets of Byzantium were decorated with crimson streamers that laughed in the breeze. They asked me to take them to give them to my special ones. I gathered the crimson in my arms and felt so alive, so happy. I turned and Delilah was beside me. I did not question why my supervisor was there, her eyes so full of the emotions I know she feels but dares not to show at work. I wrapped her neck in crimson, tying it tight as a scarf on a cold day. So beautiful. Then the crimson on her neck opened as a second mouth and began screaming. When I awoke I was scared. The dreams are so real now, and this time I recognized a face. I had to leave work early today. Every time I looked at Delilah, I heard a whisper in my mind about how beautiful she would look with a touch of crimson on her neck. Her neck. This must stop. This is not who I am. This is not who I will become. I must find help.
Battery levels are fully charged. Muting volume now.
Phrase journal escape. I've had to start a new journal. I cannot read my previous entries without the whispers tempting me. The whispers do not stop. Every person I see, the whispers tell me to help them. They show me the pain and longing hiding in their eyes. They tell me how these people want no need the gifts I give. All it would take is a few moments with a blade, a bright, bright, bright fountain of crimson to delight the eyes, and all of their pain would be gone. I could do it. I know how to help them. It gets harder and harder to stop myself. I saw a friend today, an old friend from school who's now a doctor, from Auntie Cleo. I told him about my dreams, nothing outright. Oh no, I'm not so foolish as that. I told him it was an old book I'd found and described my dreams and whispers as happening to a character in the book. I asked him how he'd help this character. He looked at me and he knew. The whispers told me to end his pain, that he'd tell. She's obviously psychologically not there. I got up and left quickly. I did not hurt him. Not. I had to leave Byzantium. He will tell. They'll come for me and lock me away. I must find a secret place. A place I can be alone, a place with no whispers.
Got it open.
Fuck me. Nearly gave me a heart attack then, pal. Phrase journal, the source. The whispers have a source and I found it. All in capital letters with a load of exclamation marks. I've taken refuge on an orbital relay station. It is smaller than a worker's hovel. Barely a few thousand square meters, but sufficient for my needs. I was able to flee Byzantium with enough bits to purchase supplies to last for decades. It was strange being among common people on the Groundbreaker. The whispers barely stirred at the sight of their ill-fed, scarred, and unwashed bodies. If only there were fewer freighters docking there, bringing real people from Byzantium. I could almost have made a home free of temptation. Free. As I made this place livable, or as much as it can be, I started hearing the whispers from the relay terminal. They told me to listen to the voices travelling through the aether to reach me, calling out to me to help them, alone, lonely, needing my help. I found a way to power down the transmitter. No more voices in the aether and no more whispers. They fell silent. This was not me. It's not. I am not this foul thing that I have feared for so long. It was the voices in the aether trying to make me hurt others. But I was stronger than they, and I have defeated them. Them. I've already begun making plans to return to my home. Now that the whispers are defeated, I can resume my life again. I can't wait to return. I miss my family and co-workers so much. Especially Delilah. That's another entry. Okay. These are obviously at the docking stations because we hacked them to basically not be hostile. Janitor. I don't think the janitor's done a good job, to be honest with you. Okay, well that's where we need to go. Hey, when you want to do your jetpack thing, make sure you give me advance warning. Everything right? Good. Yeah. Relay control terminal password.
So, is he dead or?
Body bag dispenser empty. Please replace sac reel before disposing of any corpses.
Phrase journal, forgive me. I was so wrong. The whispers did not stop. Not. They have returned. They howl at me, demanding I return home and bathe the streets in crimson, bright crimson, beautiful crimson. I can think of only one way to end this. End, forgive me, Delilah. So obviously this had a major mental breakdown, which has resulted in her being like the way she has in the notes. Give me a second, guys. Right, there you are. Okay, so we need to swap that out first. Actually does more damage, I think, the one we've got. Okay. Transmitter status disabled, receiver status active. Activate relay transmitter. Initiating transmitter activation sequence. Number 1, rerouting or routing power. 2, transmitter array pathways are synced. Number 2, conducting power test. Power is stable. Number 3, initiating transmitter array diagnostic. Diagnostics report that 26/28 arrays are functionally operational. Number 4, transmitting activation ping to groundbreaker. Ping has been received. Results: transmitter relay activation is complete. Untransmitted messages detected in memory cache. These messages will be downloaded to physical storage medium. Initiating copy sequence. Copy complete. All stored messages have successfully transferred to the physical storage device. Okay. Turn the data pad to Edna Egmere on the groundbreaker. Alright. And we didn't have to destroy any robots. We just put them in their safety terminals. Awesome. Well, I'm happy about that.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering these?
The fuck?
Something busted, Captain? Oh, you mean Sam? He's just the sweetest, ain't he? A real charmer, my dad'd say. Nah, but I've been thinking on one. Gotta get to know him better, I think. Maybe ask him what he prefers. It ain't nice to give folks a nickname without him giving you the okay first, you know? Of course, that don't stop Felix. Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was. He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us. Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling. Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed. About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape. You think I could hire myself out to ships in need someday? Be my own mechanic, like how Ellie's her own doctor? I wonder sometimes.
How the fuck have we got cows on board? But anyway, I'll take it. Alright, let's go back to Groundbreaker.
We've arrived at the Groundbreaker. We'll be here, Captain.
Alright. So if we fast travel.
My comm center already got an update ping from the backup relay. I trust everything went smoothly. Thanks. That's odd. The only messages in the queue are encrypted ones. Looking at the transmission logs, the relay hasn't received a single unencrypted message in the past 36 months. Must be on account of some new security red tape. Well, Whatever's the cause, the board and the Earth Minister will see it sorted. Thanks again for saving my derriere. I secured quite the payment authorization for you from Chief Junlei. Try not to spend it all in one place. Routing through the backup relay has saved us a mess of trouble. Thanks to you, the auxiliary will handle the signal load when the primary's caught in the occlusion.
Was a time I wanted to be an engineer.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff.
Felix Millstone. Nice to see you out of docking bay. Keeping your nose clean?
Yes, ma'am. Been at least a couple weeks since my last nose-related incident.
Uh-huh. I'm glad to see you in a captain's custody. Just try not to steal any critical parts from my ship.
Don't know what you're talking about. I'm always honest around Ms. Tennyson.
I'd tell you to stay out of trouble, but I know you'll find it anyway. Whatever you do, just make sure I don't find out.
Okay. Let's go to Cilia, or Skillia, however you want to say it.
Destination reached. Scylla.
Scylla, that's what it's called, apparently. Alright, let's bring Ellie and Sam, I think.
Loose particles detected. Vacuum them up.
This is the right place if you want to trade contraband, or hide smuggled goods, or do anything fun, really.
Status operational. Argus traffic system status operational. Insert captain's identification cartridge to initiate remote landing. Oh. So what we want to do is find Captain, what's his name? Orion on Scylla. So we got some giant force field going on. Mate, these upgrades, man.
That's the last of us.
Fucking love this weapon.
neutralized. Performance evaluation is sterling. Leave a stain.
So if you earn, the harder they fall.
And sanitize.
All right. Aryan ship discovered.
Hey, outlaw. You know, you didn't have to shoot me down if you wanted an autograph.
What's going on over there?
Cleaning cycle complete.
Tremendous work, friend. Here I was readying a daring maneuver, and you've come and saved me the trouble.
Why does that sound familiar?
It's Ellie. Excellent timing. Hello, Ellie. What a pleasure it is to see your sparkling beauty in this barren waste.
It's Dr. Fenhill.
You're absolutely correct, friend. No need to dwell on this, not at all.
Symptoms detected. Elevated heart rate, dilated pupils, increased sweat production. Subject appears to be terrified.
I'm not terrified, you bucket of bolts. That's victory sweat. Meds, I'm guessing. Pirates love bits, and unlabeled meds are worth a bundle. The one and only. Wait, who's asking? Wanda didn't send you, did she? I swear, land on Groundbreaker even a moment tardy, and that busybody's already been up your ass an hour. You tell her these automechs are coming, and sending a hired stooge to rescue me from certain peril only furthers my delay. No offense. Magnificent. And do please give Wanda my chilliest regards. And farewell to you, dear Dr. Fenhill. I trust I'll see you next I find myself on the Groundbreaker.
You'd better hope not.
You saved me the cost of ammunition. Thanks, pal.
Okay. So what is this other mission we need to do?
You saved me the cost of ammunition. Thanks, pal.
Guessing this is a ship he's on. Nice job.
And ready to kill you!
Captain!
Germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
UDL terraformer discovered.
No challenge is too large, no mask is too small.
There's no credible research on the health effects of standing directly under a terraformer, Captain. In case you were wondering.
Alright, now. Calm your beans. Okay.
Detected!
Okay, more space apes taken out. They look like space apes, so we might as well call them that. Alright. Alright, just give me a second, guys. I'll be right back.